close-ups, finished project, perspective views, and conclusion. Artist statement. My summer bridge project is going to be a lunar habitat that allows a life on the moon to be possible. I chose this concept due to the fact that NASA is looking into sending more astronauts to the moon by 2024. Here's a link that you can visit to get more information. I feel that I would do a great job on it because I love space, and the fact that I would design something for an exploration of the moon will be extraordinary. I believe it will be challenging because the materials and how the climate and overall is very different than Earth's. Also, some of the shapes and fine details are hard to achieve in the platform I'm using, Minecraft. These conditions can affect the overall structure of the lunar habitat. A new skill I learned while working on this project was using basic shapes to create more than I expected. For example, I created domes out of squares, and overall Minecraft allows for a distinctive build process. Something else I would like to do with my design is build a whole city that is self-sustaining. This can allow for the opportunity for living on the moon possible, and self-sustaining can reduce the need for Earth to send supplies. My inspiration was deeply rooted from the fact that when I was little, I wanted to become an astronaut to explore space. Precedents, inspirational designs. This image right here is showing a dome shape, which I took into consideration when building mines when I was doing my research. This one in the bottom shows how they took one habitat, split it in half to conserve more space. I also took that into consideration. And here's the tunnel system that is used to bridge every section and the rovers. I took that into consideration and put on the pointing. Landscaping. I started my project by choosing a plot of land where I would build my project. I chose this because of the craters, and the overall design of the area was very similar to the moon's surface. I started by filling out block by block, destroying and placing, which took a while, but then I discovered a command that I can just fill a bunch of area, and that went so much quicker, and I was able to complete the whole square in a pretty short amount of time compared to filling it manually. I then changed the render distance and decided to expand on this square to make this effect, and this is the outline of my lunar habitat in the very beginning stages. The construction process. This is where I started building all of the main buildings, and these are photos, screenshots. This building is the workstation. This is where astronauts can communicate with Earth, and anything to do with computers they can research here. This is a tunnel that expands from here to a research lab which is this one. This research lab is going to be where the astronauts are going to be studying the moon's surface and any minerals. Here's the bone structure of the storage and mechanical room. This storage and mechanical room will serve as to storing the rovers, any supplies, any tools that we need on the daily. It will be in here. This tunnel ends into the tortoise, which I will show later. And here is an observatory I decided to build on top of the workstation so the astronauts can study the stars from the moon. Moving on, I then created a tunnel that extends into the mountain so I can build a sleeping part, a lounge cabinet, and a gym underneath the mountain for protection. Here's the tunnel and the dome complete, and here it is fully complete, and the outline for the lounge and cafeteria. Here's the outline for the lounge and cafeteria, the tunnel, the sleeping quadrant dome complete, and here's an outline for a gym. For a gym. Here I moved on to the torus because I wanted to see dimensions and see how big the torus was going to be, and depending on how big that was, I was going to build the gym accordingly. Here's a finished structure of the torus or the hydroponic farm. Continuing, I started building the bones of the lounge and cafeteria. Here's the dome finished, and here are the 3 domes fully finished. I then decided to build a launch pad and an airlock. This launch pad will serve the purpose to receive and send out any rockets or supplies. And here's the airlock fully finished. Moving on, I started to fill in the mountain and simultaneously build this tunnel that will connect into